that's one thing that God kind of showed me on this trip, is that the global church is a body just like the local church is, and that each culture can play a role similar to individual people playing a role in the local church. Each culture worships differently. They just serve differently. They act differently even, and it helps in the grand scheme of things, because everybody has different tools to work with and different things that they can do. And so it kind of just showed me that it really put that into action, I guess. And it made it easy to grasp, because it was right there in front of me, that like we have a role in the global church, and so do they, and that role is different.
I think something that I learned from Honduras was just realizing that I don't need much to serve him, and I don't need all these things to feel like I have enough. Like Jesus is enough for me, and I saw that in like all the believers there, just how little they had in comparison to like American culture, but how much they saw Jesus as enough, how much they relied on Jesus. And that was such a beautiful thing, such an encouragement to me, to go from like this society with like so much, and also so many of us like seeking more, like never having enough, and then going to this culture that like really has a lack of a lot. Like
So the week we spent in La Ceiba was very eye-opening for Wendy and I. God just kind of guided us through where He wants us to go as a couple in our ministry. We love missions, we always have, and we were really excited. I mean, when Joe first started here 4 years ago, we talked about doing an overseas mission trip, and when he told me we were going, I was very excited. We got to spend a week with an amazing family as our host home. It was a dad. He had 2 teenage daughters, which was pretty close to my heart. And I asked him why he would give up his house, give up his bed. He took his clothes out of his dresser so I could put mine in, and literally gave me his bed. Why he would do that, and he said that was his ministry. That was him being able to host people from the States that left all their comforts, everything behind, that to come into his town and to serve his community, that it was the least that he could do. The people of La Ceiba just really showed me that following God wherever He leads, it doesn't have to be extravagant, it doesn't have to look expensive. It just has to be from your heart to following God. And that's where Wendy and I really had a talk with. We really loved this trip, but we were like, where are we going to go from here? Who's going to lead the trip next year? Joe's going to be gone, and that's when we both kind of decided, well, maybe we're going to take more of a role of that, a leadership role of that, because that's just what God's putting on our hearts.
I saw their hospitality as like seeing God. Like they were so selfless and sacrificial, and they were so willing to give of themselves for us. And that was just a beautiful thing, something that I really haven't seen on that scale until I went to Honduras, just how much they were open and willing to just be uncomfortable, like be in the hot like part of the house for us to have the air conditioning, or to lose a couple hours of sleep to get up and make sure there's breakfast for us before we left. And just all these things that it was just beautiful to be encouraged by them and see that.